All right, we are back with our bonus portion of First Contention. Final Four is among us. Number one overall seed, Louisville. We've got Michigan, Syracuse, and surprise, I'm pretty sure no one, especially on this panel, picked Wichita State going to the Final Four, kicking off on Saturday. But obviously, we can't not start this discussion without talking about the gruesome injury that sophomore Kevin Ware of Louisville suffered in the Elite Eight game. So I mean, first let's touch on that and what crossed your mind when you saw it or when you saw the feedback of the team. Steve, what did you think?
I actually missed it live. I had to come back and watch it on YouTube, but I heard about it, and I just seeing it on YouTube was just it was just so gruesome. Just watching how just the leg was so limp, it was just horrible. And I can imagine how it was for the team to be there and watching and seeing, and the emotions that that poured out from that actually happening in front of their eyes. But they were able to rally around that and go forth and finish that game out strong, especially with the passion in trying to make this game for Kevin Ware and making sure that they make it down to the Final Four and possibly the national championship. This could be that motivating factor for them to take it all, especially knowing that Kevin Ware was a big part of what they were doing. They want to make sure that they finish off what they started.
I didn't see it live, and like Steve said, I just heard about that the bone was sticking out of his skin, and I didn't want to see it until I accidentally looked on Twitter, and somebody had it as a twit pic, and it was just, it was very nasty. Like Steve said, I mean, Louisville can use this, as a battle cry moving forward. They are the number one overall seed in the tournament, and Kevin Ware was their sixth, seventh man coming off the bench, but he was contributing. It was very emotional. Even Rick Pitino said that it was the most gruesome thing that he's seen during a game when it involves his players. Nothing more else to say about that.
Yeah, definitely sounds like an Easter Sunday because I missed it as well. I had the TV on inside the background. I did notice that play had stopped for a while, so when I checked in and I saw the stretcher and I was like, what happened? What happened? Then, you hear people say this is the best movie ever. This is the something ever. This is the worst leg injury ever. I'm like, ever? I'm like, all the leg injuries. And I went to YouTube and I watched and I was like, this is the worst thing I've ever seen. And then it's crazy to see the way his teammates reacted. You saw the way that the Duke players reacted. You heard the comments from the coaches. So it was very sad, but obviously it was very great that Louisville still won the game. And in this day and age with the technology we got, that hours after it, you did not see any memes of it. CBS, ESPN, all the major networks did not re-air the injury over and over. And so they instead showed reactions, and they let that be what people used to gauge how serious the injury was. So it's great, and as a society, it's a great thing to see that, we're taking his injury in a very, very serious fashion and not throwing it out there. Now, with that being aside, obviously, Final Four is here. Where is from around the area that Final Four will be held. So obviously, Louisville will be playing hard for him. I mean, let's talk about who you have in the Final Four, and I want to know who you had in your bracket. Is your bracket still intact? Marv, what's up?
I would have to say that my bracket is still not intact, but the champion I did choose to win it all is still there, which is Louisville. I had Louisville going up against Swag University, a.k.a. the University of Miami, in the championship game, and I had Louisville winning. But I'm going to make a change. And I'm going to make a big change. And Steve, I know you're going to hate me, but I'm going to have to go big blue. I think the University of Michigan has resurrected. Yes, you see it. The Fab Five. I think they Trey Burke getting. Oh, I was watching that Kansas game. I was like, "There's no way that they can come back." And Trey Burke went all Jordan-esque on this. I mean, he put up 30 feet behind the 3-point and just knocked it down. And ever since then, Glenn Robinson Jr., Glenn Robinson III, Tim Hardaway Jr. Oh, they getting some of their inner daddy powers from there for the big dog and killer crossover. Oh, they getting all sorts of daddy powers and everything.
Oh yeah.
I'm going to go Michigan versus Louisville. I'll take Michigan right now +5.
Well, it's going to be interesting because I would love to see Louisville and Michigan play in the national championship. I mean, it really doesn't help my bracket because my bracket's been done since Miami and Indiana lost. I mean, I do have brackets where I have Louisville and I have one Michigan going, but I don't really pay attention anymore because it's just all over the place. But that being said, I wouldn't sleep on Wichita State because they're here for a reason. I mean, they've been going against some pretty decent teams in their bracket, and they made it to the Final Four. But, you know what I'm saying, Louisville is very fast, very athletic, and it should be an interesting matchup. But I still think Louisville will get past them, but don't sleep on Wichita State. And Syracuse in this 2-3 zone, man, this is a very difficult defense that's been giving people hectic problems all tournament long. And the only way for Michigan to overcome this is that Trey Burke, Tim Hardaway Jr., and the Canadian, I forgot his last name, but they need to start knocking down threes. They need to start, making shots on the perimeter because trying to penetrate and get into that zone will cause turnovers. They have to limit their turnovers. They have to, make big shots and come up with some defensive stops in order to win this game. I think this game will be harder for them to overcome than if they actually make it to the national championship and end up playing Louisville. But that's just my opinion. So I'm looking forward to it, but I still think it'll be a Louisville-Michigan national championship game. And I will pick I don't know. I'll get back to you on that.
Man, I hear that. I'm right there with you. Obviously, my bracket's in shambles. I told y'all guys about them boy from the Miami, that Miami boy, but that fell through. Yeah, Syracuse has a lot of good things going on right now. Honestly, after their first game and what that zone did, I was like, okay, these boys are here and they are for real. I had Ohio State playing Miami in my bracket. We saw what happened to them. Honestly, I feel like the Shockers are the only team that don't have something extra with them, besides the fact that they aren't supposed to be here, pretty much. Louisville, we touched on where they've got that going on. Their guard play is great. These guards are speedy. I didn't know that they were that fast. Like, these guys are #1 overall seed for a reason. Kansas. Man, Zeller got so much pub this season, but I thought one of the best men in college basketball was Jeff Withey. Zeller was soft compared to Withey. And after seeing what Michigan did to Withey with this starter, this dude's only started like 9 games. It's like Mitch McGary? That's a man, and he's only a freshman. Rebounds, he's nimble, he gets steals, He passes around the back, so I love what Michigan's got going on. You already mentioned the big names. So, man, this is one way is telling me that Michigan's going to win, and the other way, my heart on this side is telling me that in a year where the Big East comes to an end, that Syracuse and Louisville meet in the championship game. And I think I have Louisville winning.
I would hate to see that, though, just because they made it to the Big East Championship and played. I just hate seeing, repeat stuff, just like
and
with
I
the
feel
SEC
that,
in football. People don't want to see the rematches, man. I want to see the marquee matchup, Louisville versus Michigan. Everybody want to see that. I want to see that.
Hell.
They need to make it happen.
Hell.
20 years. It's been 1993 since the Fab Five went into Minneapolis and got killed by Duke. But They reached the championship game, and they are coming back. I like their chances. I like their chances a lot. So
Shock's gonna try to make some plays too. Shock's gonna try to make some play too. Go ahead, Wichita. We see y'all. We salute y'all, man. Ain't no one pulling the curtains on y'all. Go out there and ball.
As Ty is going on his Wichita State rant, we will wrap this up. Thank you for another episode of a bonus take on the Final Four. Ty from the Midwest, Steve out east, and me from Minneapolis signing off. Adios.